The term pixie duster specifically refers to like mega fans of Disney and Disney theme parks. These are the people who cannot take a criticism of Disney. No matter how bad the theme park ride, no matter how bad the renovation to a ride, no matter how bad the movie, no matter how poor the creative decision, the pixie dusters are right there to make excuses for it, to defend it, to call you names for not appreciating with grace. I mean, the gratitude, the lack of gratitude you have for what Disney deigns to bestow upon you. Those are pixie dusters specifically. But every fandom has pixie dusters, those people who just love the brand so much that it can do no wrong, and if you don't like something, well, that's you're a bad person. And so does Universal Studios. Universal Studios has their own pixie dusters. And ironically, those pixie dusters are in fact a reaction against the Disney pixie dusters. Before I get any further in this rant, where I'm continuing to, farm those clicks and things like that, let's talk about who I'm not referring to. So I'm not referring to theme park fans, theme park vloggers who are just relentlessly positive. They love theme parks. Universal, Disney, doesn't matter. They go there, they have fun, they enjoy it, they don't have a critical thing to say about it in either sense of the term, either something bad or even something thoughtful. They just go and they enjoy it. And I actually kind of envy those people. Like, imagine just being able to go through life and enjoying it. Wish I knew what that was like. Not referring to them. They're great, they're fine. And I'm not referring to people who are cautiously optimistic. People who see that we're getting this reimagined version of the Universal monsters, and are like, well, maybe it'll still be good. Maybe the rides will still be good. Maybe these new monsters will get people into the old monsters, the classical monsters. Maybe, okay, fair enough. You want to be optimistic? That's fine. That's fine. With my blessing. Feel free to do that. That's fine. Now, who I'm referring to are these people who cannot take a criticism of Universal. If you say anything negative about Universal, even just insufficient praise for Universal, and oh, you're a hater, you're a Disney pixie duster, and it always comes down to that, oh, you must be on Disney's side then. Right? I get accused of that all the time, being a Disney pixie duster, which means you just haven't been around long enough to hear my criticisms of Disney, because boy, do I have those. But the ironic thing in regards to this particular subject that we're talking about is that these Universal pixie dusters exist because of the Disney pixie dusters and because of what Disney's doing. They're dissatisfied with what Disney is doing. These are the channels, these are the people who have made a career out of complaining about how woke Disney has gotten. Oh, Disney's gotten so woke. They're doing all these woke movies. They're doing all these race and gender swaps. They're doing all this stuff. They're going woke, going broke. Look, Rey Skywalker. She's a Mary Sue. Marvel, the MCU, all that sort of stuff. That's these people complaining about that. And they're just eager to see Universal eat Disney's lunch. Because, oh, Universal listens to the fans. Really? Because the fans of Universal Monsters are practically unanimous in saying that Dark Universe completely misses the mark. Completely misses the mark of what we wanted. And when I say that, because over the last few days, as I've been posting these videos and replying in comments and things like that, I've been meeting a lot of these pixie dusters who cannot take the criticism, who insist on saying among themselves, oh, the Dark Universe is great. This is the Universal Monsters. They're coming back. They're a big deal. This is exactly what Universal Monster fans want. Like, how would you know? You're not a Universal Monsters fan. Because you go to the Universal Monster fan communities, go to my comment section, go to Facebook, and what do you see? Well, you see two things. First of all, you see people complaining about it. For every maybe one person who is like, oh, this looks kind of cool, there's like 20, 30, 40 people who are like, this is bullshit. This is not what we wanted. This is the woke reimagining. This is the woke reimagining of the Universal Monsters. Okay? We've got Dracula looking like he's shopping at Hot Topic, and we have got a race and gender swap Dr. Frankenstein. But when Universal does it, it's okay, right? These people will make a career out of complaining about Disney going woke, but then when Universal does it, oh well, just get over it, right? This is Universal's great, Universal's wonderful. They needed to update these characters for modern audiences because Universal is so old, nobody knows, nobody cares. We had to update them. Whatever, the general public will like it. I opened this video with a 3-act play in which, within 5 minutes, I got someone down from this is a Universal Monster fan's dream come true to, okay, well, the general public likes it, so who cares about you? It's not all about you. Within 5 minutes. That's what that 3-act play unfolded. Stop speaking for us. Stop making us a prop in your little drama against Disney. Okay? What you are doing, Universal pixie dusters, who cannot take criticism of Universal, because you think Universal is the messianic hope that's going to save us from woke Disney. Imagine someone making a theme park land based on the 2016 Ghostbusters, and then telling us, oh, this is a Ghostbusters fan dream come true. We had to reimagine and update the Ghostbusters. Imagine somebody making a Star Wars theme park land based on the sequel trilogy. And you're the one saying, well, get with it, okay? They had to reimagine Star Wars for a new generation. We need to reach modern audiences. This is a Star Wars fan dream come true. And if you don't like it, well, too bad. I just, so more room for me. That's you now. That's you guys. That's you Universal pixie dusters who are always complaining about Disney going woke. That's you now. That's who you are. Is this a Universal fan's dream come true? This dark universe? Did you notice? It's not even branded to Universal Monsters. Right? Like How to Train Your Dragon, brand's right there. Harry Potter, brand's right there. Super Nintendo World, it's in the name. Dark Universe, that's not even branded to Universal Monsters. The logo isn't even on there. Dark Universe was the name of the abortion of a cinematic universe that was supposed to start with the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, which is like, again, a race and gender swap. There you go. It's not even branded Universal Monsters because it's not Universal Monsters. It's not for us. That's what you keep saying, right? If we say, oh, we don't like it, oh, well, sorry, boomer. A few generations off there, but, oh, sorry, boomer, it's not all about you, okay? Whatever, it's not for you. Okay, great, and then it's not for me. It won't go. Won't go to the park. More room for you, okay? Less people in line. There you go. But you have to bring us into your drama, right? Because you've got such a hate boner against Disney, you have to bring us to this. Oh, Universal's so great. Universal's to the fans. No, they don't. They just did the woke reimagining of the Universal monsters, and you're defending it. You're the ones defending it now. You defend woke Universal, but not woke Disney. And I will say as well, just so that people don't get me wrong, that the criticism of Disney is not entirely undeserved. Okay, they do make some very poor creative decisions, especially lately, and people are right to criticize the lazy race and gender swapping, the lazy diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff. Good diversity is, we're still waiting for a movie about Anansi, stories of Anansi from Africa. How about Sun Wukong, China, Journey to the West? Where's Disney's version of that? There's good, compelling diversity and inclusion and equity where we're seeing these versions of stories from other cultures, hearing voices from other cultures. Then there's this lazy pandering diversity where they just take a European story and race swap it. They take a white character and race swap and gender swap it. That's the lazy stuff, and that deserves criticism. I want to see the good stuff, which is why I, am reading Journey to the West, why I like anime and watch movies from other cultures, because I'm interested in the authentic diversity, not the cheap, lazy Hollywood diversity. And people are right to criticize Disney for that, but people are also right to criticize Universal for that. The Dr. Victoria Frankenstein, the race and gender swap Dr. Frankenstein, is that woke, lazy diversity, race swapping. And they should be criticized for that. But you're not criticizing them, pixie dusters. Universal pixie dusters who can't take criticism of Universal. You're making excuses for it. You're defending it. You're being a pixie duster because you can't criticize Universal because they're the great hope that's going to save us from Disney. And Lord knows Universal deserves criticism as well for uh, the laziness with which. And I'm actually astonished at how much Universal can get away with that Disney cannot. Um, the Harry Potter Diagon Alley at Universal. It's just a mall with a ride. It's a very well themed, impeccably themed mall, but it's just a line of stores to a ride at the end of it. And on top of that ride is a static statue of a dragon that breathes fire periodically. And the Universal Pixie Dusters go completely nuts for this. They think it's the most best thing ever. But if Disney did that, well, they would lose their mind in a different way, with criticism about how lazy Disney just made a mall with a ride and the dragon doesn't even move and whatever. And Universal also deserves the credit. Super Mario World actually does look really good, really beautifully immersive and kinetic. Not a big fan of having to buy the bracelet, but it looks like it actually gives people what they want and not reimagined. They didn't have to reimagine Mario for some reason. That's interesting. Why isn't it all about Princess Peach and her adventures, right? Why didn't they race and gender swap Mario? So I will give Universal credit, and they are making great strides in moving to where Disney was 20 years ago. Like Epic Universe might, at least in terms of the quality of the presentation, start to rival things like Disney Sea. But Dark Universe ain't it. Dark Universe ain't it. So stop bringing us into this discussion. Because Universal didn't listen to the Universal Monster fans, didn't give us what we wanted. We wanted them to go to the table with the Lugosi and Karloff and Cheney estates to get permission to use those likenesses. And if Disney can do animatronics of presidents, Universal can do an animatronic of Bela Lugosi. That's not a problem. And that's what we would have liked to see, right? Is to step into the movies like they were talking about in that video, to step into a Universal Monsters movie from the 30s or 40s and to go on an adventure in that world. Instead, we got this Dark Universe thing. It's not even branded to Universal Monsters because it's so not for us. It's so not what we wanted. They didn't even put the Universal Monsters brand on it. So stop bringing us into the discussion. This is a big L for Universal on this one. They didn't listen to the fans. They gave us the woke reimagining of the Universal Monsters. And even more damning than the criticism from the Universal Monster fans is the fact that we actually aren't even really talking about it at all. All of those quotes that I pulled of Universal Monster fans criticizing this, that's all from just one post. In our fan communities, what are we talking about? We're talking about the toys. We're talking about the old movies. Like Peacock or some streaming service made a dedicated Universal horror channel. Not even monsters, specifically. Universal horror in general. Universal horror channel. And like every week somebody brings it up. Hey, did you guys know that there's... Yeah, we know. Like, we've been talking about this for like a year now. That's what we're talking about. The Dark Universe, one post. One post, that's it. Because we know it's not what we wanted. It's just the Universal Pixie Dusters, these people who made their YouTube channels around complaining about Disney, that are just talking among themselves about how great this is and how Universal is the fans and how awesome Dark Universe is going to be and how totally what the Universal fans, Monster fans want. You're just all talking among yourselves there. You're not including us in the conversation. You're using us as a prop in your fight against Disney, while Universal is doing the exact same thing, giving us that woke reimagining of the Universal Monsters. You're making excuses for it, telling us to get over it. Well, you get over it. So that's what I'm saying. This is not what we wanted, and God bless those who are looking forward to it, and hoping with optimism that it won't be as bad as it looks. But Pixie Dusters, Universal Pixie Dusters, deal with it. Deal with criticism and leave us out of the discussion, because this is a big L for Universal on how this Dark Universe thing is coming together. It's not what Universal Monster fans wanted. They didn't listen to us, and this is doing exactly the thing you criticized Disney for doing. So get over it and learn to accept criticism.